Shoot! Go! Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Go Mango Toku Cast. I'm your host of Frozen Stratos. With me today we have
Makotoa.
Yeah, and that's a lot. We're down to 2 this week. But man, that will not stop us from bringing you episodes 38 through what is it? What are we
41.
at? 41 of Kamen Rider X-Aid.
Yeah.
So let's dive right in to episode 38. Easily, for me, one of the best episodes of X-Aid by far. Some might argue that the more recent ones, episode 40 and 41, those are better. But for me, the characters I care about, really, laundry list, it would go Nico, Taiga,
Ooh.
and then I guess Poppy. You know, Braves. Anyone's above X8. You've got anyone up there. But easily some of the better characters getting the focus, and I'm pretty happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm probably in the other boat, thinking that
Over there!
we'll get to those episodes, but
How's your cruise?
What?
In the other boat.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, Palad drowns, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Jeez. I feel like it's in this episode where Masamune Dan really starts to lose his footing. Is like, not. I wouldn't say he's not a good villain anymore. The heroes are slowly castrating him, and he's getting more and more frustrated. I want to see him go wild soon, to see if he could reclaim what he's lost in terms of fear.
Yeah,
I don't fear him as much anymore.
He starts to, like, he has been really intimidating, but you're right, like, especially after the, I mean, like, this was his last. Yeah,
I mean, like,
he ends Brave's girlfriend's existence pretty much. Like, I feel like they could have made that feel more painful,
right?
Like, when it happened, but it just kind of happened, and then we went right into the fight, and then like Brave sort of was affected by it afterwards. It didn't have as much punch as I wanted it to.
Yeah. And 95% sure you didn't watch our last X-Aid review, but in there we kind of discussed what would make it a bit more emotionally resonant, and I feel like it's because we didn't get any focus on who Saki was or why she was important to Brave outside of love interest. You know, we don't have a solid, grounded connection with this character, so we don't feel the loss. We just feel that Heroes lost something. And it's really more something than someone, because, again, we don't know too much about her.
Yeah, it doesn't help when she's just repeating the one line every time she's on screen.
That would be fine. If we got a little bit more, because it is supposed to be just, you know, a bastardized version of her.
Well, yeah, but like, if we don't have the regular version of her, it's like, what are we gonna?
Yeah, I know. It's like nothing changed, right? You brought in the hologram, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, no, she's not the same."
I didn't feel.
Are you sure?
Honestly, you know what? You know what they could like if he had like just to, and this could have been so much more emotional this way. If he had just to spite Brave, like, revealed her full like personality and stuff into that image before he deleted her, like, she was suddenly alive, and she's like, Hito,
what? I'm here, I'm alive. Yeah, shoot.
Yeah, that would have been.
He did not play that card. That would have been pretty good.
That would have hurt. I would have like felt it, even if we didn't get her, but just because she would have actually been there. Right now, It didn't
But like,
feel
if here's the problem you run into. If she starts talking and starts like encouraging Brave, she's like, "Don't do it. I'm here. Like, I'm fine," or something. Like, somehow she gets the wherewithal to start speaking like all wise. Hey, you don't have to. Or I don't know. There are a ton of things that could have been done, but like, I feel like out of all the things that they tried to do, or at least could have done, like, it felt like a cost-cutting measure not to have her speak more than that. So what I'm thinking is, like, maybe instead of and I know I'm retreading ground here, but I think that it would have been cooler if the episode prior to this one, where we got introduced to Saki's father, he would have had a conversation with Hiro saying like, hey, yeah, she used to want to be a baker and she wanted to share that with Hiro, but he was always, just so distant, and like just a small little bit of characterization or some small motivation that she had to really flesh out who this person was, just the slightest bit, because we've got nothing outside of her being
it kind of
girlfriend.
sucked, but like I didn't feel anything when her image was deleted.
See, that's the thing. I felt something for Hiro.
Yeah.
And while that's well and good, it's, again, it could have been more emotionally resonant with the connection to the audience.
Yeah. It would also help if we haven't heard like the dramatic like music for the 20 millionth time, because that's the only sad track they have in this show.
It's the worst.
It's the only sad track they have in this show, and they play it every time any kind of like conflict is going on.
Yeah.
So that didn't really help. But that's why I mean, as much as it's good to see Brave like going through character development, I couldn't enjoy it as much, because there were points where it's like, yeah, that could have been better handled so that I would actually feel more towards the loss that happened here. And like honestly, I felt more for Taiga and Im, right? Or not In, sorry, Im. Those two. That
I do not care for M.
Is not M.
No way.
But in Tensei Gamer In, like when she found out that that potentially Hiro was going to sabotage the surgery, like she started freaking out and started screaming her head off, like that. He's gonna kill Taiga. That hurt.
It perplexes me how they do so well here, and yet they purposefully omitted any sort of development with Saki.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just a small thing for me.
I don't. Yeah, but the Taiga In stuff was the best part of the episode for me.
Definitely.
So.
And to really get into Brave's corner for a second. You know that I like it when characters like each other. That's been my main complaint for these past 30, 40 episodes.
Yeah.
And for him to have made the choice, to have chosen to save him, not only to choose the future, but to choose a friend. And it was no easy task. He had that entire time.
Yeah.
The entire time to sabotage the surgery, and he chose not to. That was very powerful, and I feel like it really establishes that bond between them that I wanted so much at the beginning. So again, this episode did a really good job.
It seems like everyone's finally on the same team.
Yeah.
After
and there's definitely not that like stuck up, I'm not gonna work with you, sort of thing. It's just so tiring. I'm so done with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's supposed to be like Kamen Rider's like strength as opposed to Super Sentai, that like there's conflicting heroes that aren't always on the same like page. But
I mean, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's like the story about one guy against an entire organization.
Yeah.
Because like the advent of tons of riders didn't happen until like more recent sort of editions.
It really got old with Ex-Aid for me.
Yep.
That they were always like in conflict, but somehow would work together, and then they just like, and then it just on a whim they'd try to kill each other. It just got, but yeah, at least we're here now. At the very end.
Yeah.
But maybe we should move on to the next episode.
We should. Okay. The next episode, Goodbye Me. This had good elements, but it also had some pretty weird elements.
There were some parts, like if this is the one where pretty much Emu murders Palad.
No. This is where Emu murders his old character and suddenly starts a new one. What shifted? What happened? Why do we suddenly have a new protagonist?
It's because at this point, like, and the whole time Palad wanted to, like, you know, hey, play with me, Emu, play with me, you know,
Yeah.
I'll kill people, you better play with me. Like, and Emu never cared to play with him. He just could not care less. He was only concerned about the patients. Now, when an actual patient was at stake, where he actually had to deal with Palad, it was just like, hey, this isn't a game anymore. I'm going to straight up kill you because there's no other way to save this patient. So
Right.
it kind of...
I mean, like, no. There was another way.
And
that was to defeat Cronus. And, like, really, this was a pretty dumb decision. And it didn't help that he decided to tell... actually, you know, let me calculate how many people he decided to tell. Zero. 0 people he decided to tell. There were none of them.
I
ran the calculations. There were all but... none. Yeah, definitely none.
Okay,
I had to recheck my numbers.
Poppy probably was the only one because she bore witness to it.
No, she didn't know. She didn't know that he was gonna, like... Oh, yeah. I mean, we're getting into 41 or 40 as well.
Oh, you're talking about that.
Like, no. Like,
who...
she knew he was gonna kill him, right?
Yeah, she knew he was gonna kill him, but nobody knew that he was gonna bring him back.
It was a dumb idea.
That part. Okay, yeah.
Why? What's the point?
What's the point
in
for
not telling
dramatic
anyone?
Television? That's what the point is.
That bothers me. That is the exact problem that we have gotten over with Brave and Snipe that we were just talking about. Drama for the sake of stupid drama.
That's
to
lots of shows
to establish dumb tension.
I mean, Arrow does that a lot.
Right, but here's the thing, and I keep saying it time after time. They have likable characters. At least for me. If you don't have that, you can't get invested with the drama.
Okay. Well, that drama I didn't agree with at that point, but like I think Emu was just on a crusade at that point and just wanted to get it over with, so he didn't bother mentioning it to anyone else.
Yeah, no, but he decided, and this had consequences.
It did, yeah.
In episode
that's
40.
True. You're right, because
Look,
when he made
told
that,
no one you were going to kill the person that allows you to transform.
Yeah, that's the stupid part.
Yeah, that dashed all of their ideas, all of their plans, so they went in for one desperate attack, and you didn't tell them you were going to immediately bring your powers back.
Yeah.
You just let them go. Legitimately, you gave them Hyper Muteki and let them... Oh. I'm so mad I tossed my mic. You let them go!
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Was this
Yeah.
all to facilitate a cool entrance later? That's so ridiculous.
Well,
It's not worth it. And it doesn't help that these stupid writing decisions were just like, they decided to make these dumb writing decisions and dumb drama decisions and then immediately reset it. Like, oh yeah, we're just going to make this part a bit messy and then reset it all back.
oh my gosh.
It makes me so upset.
Well, I understand those points, and those were the points that I just conveniently forgot for the episode because it didn't like it wasn't the focus for me. My focus was what Palad was going through the whole time.
No.
And like that was the highlight for me. And so I suppose like for both of us there were like pros and cons to our favorite parts because half of it was like, oh, they could have done better with the brave part of Saki's death. But then at the same time, the episode did well with Taiga and In. Whereas with this stuff, with these episodes, it was like, oh yeah, you kind of screwed up your continuity and you're like making stupid decisions with some of the other characters. But then we have Palad and his character development that's actually going places and becoming like actually good. And
no, but the thing is, it was great. I loved it. And I mean, like, X8 is such a garbage character that I'm fine with sacrificing any sort of development he had before to facilitate this. And all the scenes were so cool. Like the confidence he had when he was basically wailing on Perfect Knockout is like easily that's just Kamen Rider fighting at its best. I saw that a lot in Kamen Rider Kabuto. That confidence in your own abilities.
He's a totally different person from Emu's typical stuff. He just like annihilated. He didn't just like beat him in every way, like, you know, perfect knockout. Yeah. Like his Palad, but he just had to like rub it in with some like mental stuff too. Yeah. Like, I don't know, it felt cruel how bad Emu was being towards him. But like at the same time in episode 41 we learn Emu was really just trying to...
Oh, I'm not done here.
Like, I know, but you already skipped around, so
okay,
it's my turn. Right. Like he was sort of trying to teach Palad a lesson because I mean Palad did kill people. And like even if, you know, now we learn that they could potentially be brought back to life, he's still, for all intents and purposes, intended to kill people and succeeded in killing people. And that's really, as much as we can say that Palad's a cool villain character and stuff and all that, he murdered people. And if Emu, which I understood, he realized Palad's part of me and I'm kind of responsible for him to some degree, and he starts taking responsibility for that. And it was very difficult to see it at the time because we thought Emu's motivation was strictly, I'm going to kill you so that, you know, I can save the patient. Not that I actually
No, I never thought that. When he had this sudden character change, I'm like, this is not going to stick. Yeah. This is not going to stick. There's some sort of ulterior motive here. Okay. And oh, look at that. He captured him in his hand with some sort of power that has not ever been explained to the audience. So I'm great. Thanks for that.
Yeah, we just did it, and that's what happened because you gotta make people think that your character's dead, and that Emu was a cold stone killer, and just like ended him with the words, "Hey, buddy, I win," and just like it just like grabs his heart, and just like the whole imagery that was going on with Palad too, and his fear of dying, that was brutal. And
I honestly to have properly visualized death in that way. I don't claim to know anything about dying. But to have visually and, you know, just shown us a very relatable version, a very tangible sort of visual that we could wrap our mind around to
How Palad
really
was
tell us
feeling,
what death felt like, at least to him. Suffocating,
Oh,
drowning, not being able to pick yourself up. It was, I felt it.
yeah.
And it's just massive kudos to the director of this episode.
Yeah.
Though I really don't understand the decision he had to, or the decision he made to make Emu this weird stone cold killer, but that's fine. Actually, no, it's not fine. Because if you decide to sacrifice a character to facilitate the rest of your story, the main character, if you decide to sacrifice the main character's
I can't say it's a sacrifice.
Personality.
I can't say it's a sacrifice of his personality because it still lines up with his ideals.
The decisions, yes, but the mannerisms, everything about that, if you decide to change, I don't know, if you did that to facilitate, another character, I don't.
Well, it was honestly, here's what it really came down to. The mannerisms were changed pretty much to kind of pull the wool over you so that it would be a surprise factor.
Right, yeah, so basically what the director is saying, hey, I'm gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I really don't like that. And it bothered me a lot in, like, Wonder Woman, too, where it had this scene where you thought, oh, she can't hear. But, hey, guess what? She could hear the whole time. I lied.
Okay.
What the hell?
Okay.
That pisses me off.
Hopefully that didn't spoil anything, but it's context anyway, so it's really generic. I suppose that shouldn't even...
No.
And it's been out for a while, so...
My bad. Wonder Woman spoilers, I guess.
I don't think it's really that big a deal, because it was a...
Hey, let's talk about X8 episode 40.
Yeah, so, go figure.
This one was called Destiny Reboot, and boy oh boy, do I have problems here as well. There's some good stuff. Yeah, there's some good stuff. Let's talk about
good stuff. Is all the whole thing with Palad, and like, he's back, and I found it kind of cool that he used the twin mode to like bring him back, or to show him coming back.
I mean, like,
I don't know. There was the novelty of that, like, just it's like, okay, that mode's useful for one other thing.
I don't know.
For once,
it's a bit dubious with me, and I'm not entirely sure why.
Okay, probably because of the other shenanigans that had been going on before it, but he comes back, and Palad throughout the entire episode just kind of struggles internally until the very end, where we hear him like approach, Emu, and just kind of like pour out everything that's going on in his mind.
He's just an emotional wreck, and it all just comes like...
And it's like, honestly, it's wonderful to see something like that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I absolutely...
Isn't it great to see people in despair?
It showed a villain character, like, really make a complete 180, and I have to say, I really enjoyed watching it unfold.
Yeah, and, like, especially since this character, like, he only recently became somewhat sentient, somewhat human-like, because now he's able to use Driver. Before he wasn't as human, but now he's sort of understanding emotions. I mean, a little more effectively than Naga in Uchi Sentai Kyuranger, but I feel like they're going for two different things.
I like what...
One's more played up for comedy. This one is definitely... Yeah. You get to see a progression of, emotions. That's a thing. And people feel these. There's terror. Yeah. There's despair. There's death. There's fear.
Yeah.
And so, to see him grapple with these changes happening in his body.
Pretty much. I mean, Poppy, I like the way Poppy put it when she was trying to explain it. I don't know if it was just to Palad or if it was also to the other dude, the other Bugster villain guy. But she was saying how, Palad, all he cared about was the games at first, but then it became clear he didn't just want to be a villain. He wanted to have his own like humanity within. Like he didn't want to just be a villain that people beat.
Yeah.
He wanted
And
to prove that he was his own person.
And here's where my crackpot theory comes in. Is Palad secretly the main character in disguise, right? Because technically he's been doing all the X-Aid stuff from the beginning, up until it's revealed that anytime Emma would switch to Tensai Gamer M, it'd be him, right? And then he's the one that's getting all this great character development. I don't know. I just want him to be the main character instead. I hate X-Aid.
Yeah,
I hate him so much. He's such a problem.
Palad has really come a long way from that one generic villain guy out of the three. Because at the beginning I couldn't even tell who was who.
Yeah.
You're just like, wait,
3 Asian dudes with similar haircuts. Don't lie. You couldn't tell either, could you?
Could you? I couldn't.
Not you, the audience.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't tell either.
It was confusing.
I'm looking at you.
We had a lot of people going, and then there was even there were a few rogues. The only way you could tell Taiga apart was because he had white highlights, man.
Taiga. Oh, yeah, correct.
Yeah. It's great to see how far he's come, and also it's sad to see that X-Aid has kind of stayed the same. Mm-hmm. And even
that's the problem with
at least the inconsistency was explained, because I remember my biggest gripe with him was that he was one thing and then he was another.
No, that's sometimes a thing with writer. They have this quirk that kind of a quirk that keeps that's supposed to be there to keep the audience engaged, but is also there for story purposes. And that I felt like that was still the case then.
Okay, I guess I wasn't used to the genre enough to realize that was probably going to be explained at some point. I thought it was just okay, inconsistencies in his personality. Here we go. But so what else happens this episode? He comes back to life. He makes the change.
Big.
He also kind of splits off from hanging out with the other Bugster dude, and
and also one of the best fights we've seen from X-Aid.
Are you talking about
the co-op?
Oh yeah, that was good.
Man. Yeah, and also again, this episode we get to see the slow progression or Masamune Dan.
Masamune, yeah.
He is slowly becoming less and less relevant.
He's losing his grip.
Riled up.
Yeah, he's
riled up, and he has to do something weird. Frick.
Oh man.
He decides to, with his weird DNA, to reset the episode. What?
I can't help but feel like I should have seen this coming, because if you look at a game controller, there's a pause button, and then you've also got on the console, there's always been a reset button, and it's just oh shoot, I should have seen this coming that.
But he didn't even see that coming.
I know.
I don't get it.
What other quirks on a features on a old game console should we look out for, That's gonna be
he already blew the cartridge. That was in the first episode.
Yeah.
They could do that age old up down
A B left right,
whatever that is. Yeah.
I don't.
What else is there? What else they could select?
Select.
I don't.
No, they already do character select.
Right.
Shoot.
I don't know. There's the power button. We could turn the show off and just not deal with it anymore.
Right. I don't know what's left. Honestly, Yeah, they pretty much
Yeah.
covered it all now, but the reset was like a one-time thing, I think, because he's become
They never needed to charge anything.
he's become pretty irrelevant now. So,
Well,
or
I mean, and that's the thing. He's he's becoming irrelevant, and he knows it.
yeah, that was the
And
frustration he had.
yeah. So like, I'm still interested. I
Yeah.
want to see what he does, but I mean, this the reboot just it felt like a plot decision rather than a you know what I mean.
I think you mean like just for stalling purposes almost.
Yeah, I guess.
Because
And
I don't see how.
it was helpful. Like it tidied up the plot because in this episode, like we saw the repercussions of X8's dumb decision to go off and kill Palad and not tell anyone about his stupid plan.
Yeah.
One, it probably would have made more sense to attack Dan Masamune, but I guess X8 just didn't want to deal with Palad anymore. Something stupid like that. I guess
Well, at this point,
he was pretty volatile.
If
he might have done something
if
crazy.
He was well, that's part of it, I suppose. But like the girl was gonna die. He needed to make a decision quick. And
yeah, I know.
If
and
he
that
knew he had this power to like save Palad, but also save the girl at the same time. I mean, why not?
I don't know. I feel like the better decision. No. He knew. Audience didn't know. No one else knew.
He knew.
It frustrates me that the audience is just they're trying to lie to the audience.
I mean, they've it's kind of like the twist stuff that they've done before.
It's more annoying because it's not it's not pre-established things within their own
the
rules.
annoying part is, yes, we didn't know about the ability, and so it just felt like this kind of butt pull.
It feels like the show's sort of cheating and like not being careful with how they
following
use
its own
their
rules in that sense.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that like deceiving the audience for certain things is the worst, because like when you do have a twist that's good and handled well and works within the like rules of the world, and it's not just this completely like
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
But straight up lying, that's what that's what bothers me.
It's like it's a truth, but without withheld information that shouldn't have been provided before, or it's just a butt pull, really, because it's kind of like
I have no idea what you're talking about with butt pulls.
There's a worse way to say it. I just didn't want to say it that way.
Butt pulls.
Ass pull.
Oh, pulling it out of your. Okay,
yeah.
You swip the. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never heard it in that order.
I mean,
butt pulls. Hey. Taco Tuesday was today. I had some pretty. Hey guys, let's talk about something else now.
Yes, please.
So we get to see the repercussions of X8's dumb decision, and it's basically Taiga, Snipe, Brave, and Boxo Bike losing their and Dan Kuroto losing their
Henshin devices.
Huh? Oh yeah, their belts.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was easily the no, there are two pretty dumb parts. The second dumb part was that like Nico was straight up dying. They were by her side, sure, but there was this part that I blinked my eye at and I kind of wanted to see more of. When he took away the drivers, he was like, well, now it looks like you're just going to have to buy Kamen Rider Chronicle and fight me that way. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see them desperately doing as much as they could to save Nico despite it, and all the characters were doing, were sitting there stagnant. Sitting there helpless, and I hate it. Because they could try to actively win. They could do all that they can, and they didn't. They're just sitting there in despair, and they're like, X8, please save us. They had no idea that X8 had his powers, one, and two, how would that have been the case? Like, if he doesn't have his powers, well, why? I don't know.
It feels like it's a plot hole.
That feels like the same problem.
It feels like it's a plot hole that they kind of screwed up the way it was supposed to be, where, like, there was probably... It feels like there's a scene missing where X8 explains, oh, hey, I got my powers back. That's what it feels like. Because from what we see, there's none of that, so are we still to just assume that they don't know he has his powers back? Like, or he didn't lose them at all? I think that there's literally a scene missing, and somebody on the production unit just forgot to add it, or they just, like, it just...
I don't think so. Like, for Kamen Rider production, it's too tight. It's too tight to, like...
Or maybe they didn't feel it was necessary, and that this whole...
Excuse me, that's a very necessary part. And with all the care that they've taken in other places, I feel like this is something they would do their best to, you know...
I don't know, dude. You're saying that this show has taken care of its characters. I don't know.
It's taken... It weirdly plays by... I don't know. I just feel like it's within the realm of their capabilities to give us that scene.
It should have been there. Yes, I agree.
No. It's, like... Yeah, I agree it should have been there, but I feel like this is something that the team, like, at Toei, producing this show, would have done if it was supposed to be there.
So you're saying that they intentionally left it out, thinking it was not necessary?
No, I'm saying that I don't think it happened. I don't think there was a part where they revealed it.
So these characters are just...
in the dark, yes.
And they're saying...
That's what I'm thinking.
Help us, X8, even though we know that you shouldn't have your powers anymore.
Yes.
I can't see that, because...
I can see that as a inconsistency that they'd have. And when you're calling out for despair, you call out for anyone. And, like, if X8's the main character, and he's supposed to bring hope to the rest of the people, that's the name you're going to call out.
I don't know, but either way, it just turned out the way it has, and it wasn't coherent.
No, it wasn't. And how cool would it have been to have, like, this lead-in to the final fight of that episode, where you see these three mooks getting tossed around by Dan Masamune, and then they're all, you know, it's revealed that it's those three still trying to fight, and we cut back to Nico dying, and they're all in despair, and the, you know,
and the next day shows
at least them doing something, right? And then we have the Mighty Brothers X step in and, you know, beat him up. That would have been so cool.
Yeah,
that would have been so cool, and have that be the reveal, you know. I feel like that would have been pretty strong.
It would have been.
Like, huh? How are you here? This sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And also, let's get into episode 41. That was a really rough transition. Unless you have more stuff to talk about for 40.
No.
Okay, cool. No. Rough transition it is.
Wait, who died?
You died. No, that one guy, the dragon hunter.
What's his face? He turned red.
Not Palad, it's his buddy. His good old buddy.
It's his good old buddy that
Graphite!
Yeah, he's like, he had no character the entire show.
And then suddenly,
I have a purpose, and I tell you it just as I'm about to die.
Yes. I mean, yeah. And it was nice. His final words to Poppy and Palad.
Yeah.
Now I'm switching on whose name I'm forgetting. His final words to them: "I always considered you friends." By all means, that should have been hollow and empty, since we didn't get much from him and Poppy. But, like,
yeah,
he was around with Palat a lot, and
Yeah.
it was nice. It was a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
I again like it when characters like each other, makes them more likable.
I mean, like, we did see him hanging out with Palad a lot, and, like, when
Yeah,
Palad
no,
was...
I mean,
When
yeah.
Palad was down about something, he was, like, always trying to, hey, man, we'll still beat him. We'll,
No, yeah, that's what I said. But like
So,
with Poppy,
yeah. He smacked her around a couple times, too, so it's just like, well...
Yeah.
Friends, right? But then again, so did Xaid's team from time to time.
No, that was Palad. Oh, frick. That was Palad. Friends!
Friends. Oh my gosh.
Friends let friends slap each other.
I mean, the others tried to...
Hey, Michael, come here!
I mean, they tried to kill Xaid once, so... Right? Or was that just the screenwriters trying to lie to us again? Because that's honestly what they did, because they failed to mention that, we're just trying to instigate his Bugster to come out. No, we're not really trying to kill him, even though that's every other indication shows that that's what we're intending to do.
Yeah, they decided, hey, let's not tell Xaid, because it might screw him up. What? How would that... What? Okay, whatever. And it, like, I mean, they definitely follow up on that. In Xaid, he does fall into despair from it, but, like, why?
He almost...
This was not...
Yeah, the shock almost killed him. And it was only because Palad, like,
saved him,
intervened that he didn't die or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's more stuff that it didn't make 100% sense, but you just kind of go along with. But,
hey, let's get back to...
let's do that. Let's do that.
Dan Kuroto is such a divisive character. And honestly, I can't like him. I cannot seem to like him as much as everyone else does.
I only like him for the, like, parlor trick type, I don't know. He's turned into kind of like a comedy thing, and that's
that works to a degree.
It's the only reason why I find him entertaining anymore, and because he like totally pisses off the rest of the crew. Like that's the biggest like fun I get out of him is because he just like it doesn't matter who it is, he'll just like smack talk into their face. And I just can't help but enjoy that when I don't really like the protagonist characters very much. It's probably a cynical thing for me, but it's the I try to find some enjoyment in this show when I can, so
I don't know, it's just the focus we had on him in the beginning, like making him the main villain and then I don't know. I don't feel good about him anytime he's on screen.
Okay.
When he dies multiple times, oh my goodness, how happy am I gonna be? When that ticker finally runs down to 0, I will be so happy. He'll be gone, out of my hair. I don't want him. I don't want him to have any dumb redeeming qualities. He's the worst. I want him out. I hate him. Hate him.
Okay.
The most annoying part of this show.
I disagree, honestly.
Again,
but yeah.
It's very divisive.
Okay.
Because people love that guy, and they're if we had an audience, they'd fight me in the comments down below.
Yeah.
My goodness. It's the worst.
Okay, continuing on, the fight was really good too. And I loved how it, apparently it went on through the night. It was Brave
I guess.
And Snipe versus
because it was kind of interspliced with Dan dying a lot. And hey, when you have one all-nighter and you just die a few times? That's how that works, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's how that works?
Trying to develop the, Because time went back. We went...
I've never studied so hard for a test that I
died.
did it overnight and died multiple times.
Well, you're still talking, so I can't imagine that that you died, let alone multiple times. But yeah, that was happening during the fight, right? So
yeah.
I mean, you had the gripe with the power up and stuff. I'm happy to see that by the end of this episode
Wait, what?
Huh?
What do you mean, what power up?
The power up, the sudden power up by Chronicle, where he suddenly did the did the time travel except without you developing that thing, and it's gone now, and so he's got to read his all that stuff. But so we had this whole... I wanted to address something that I don't know, just like you said, blinked your eye at something. Mm-hmm. The part where, like, you know, Palad's trying to reason with whatever the other Bugster guy is. I still can't remember his name. Huh? Graphite. And Graphite doesn't want to join the humans. He's completely against humans and stuff.
Hey, suddenly I have a character outside of you. Huh?
Yeah, he's like...
You what?
No, I don't value human life or anything like that, and, you know, this and that. But then, like, and the whole thing about how he's the Bugster of freaking Hero's wife, and how Taiga has that grudge against him because that was his patient that died. So they're the ones who really, like, want at his throat. And yet, freaking Tensai Gamer ends just like this. It felt like this really, I don't know, messed up thing that she just came out of nowhere like, hey daddy, can I finish it off? Okay, thanks. And she just takes a gun.
What?
And she shoots him.
Daddy?
Like think of it like a little kid. You know, going hunting. They're going hunting with their old parent or old man, and it's like, you know, they shoot a wild animal, and she gets to, like, finish it off. And she was excited too. It was just like, there's so much, like, writing on his death right now. You know, the significance of what he is, technically. And you're just like, oh, cool, I get to finish off the last, you know, beat this game. Let's go. And she just shoots him with...
Well, I mean, like, it's been her ambition this whole time, and it speaks volumes that they'd let her have the final attack.
I don't know if I'm gonna give it this much credit where they actually were like, oh yes, let's give her the ability to do this. Like, it was some kind of earned. It didn't feel that way. It just felt like...
I mean, like, most of the plans, like, have her just taking the final hit, you know, taking the final shot. So it lines up with almost everything, and she is Taiga's partner. It's not necessarily daughter-like figure. It just
felt really brutal because, like, oh, this guy who's been around a while has character now, and he's got a motive and some final words, and he seems like he's become a little bit more human, unlike the other Bugsters who she's killed. And so then, you know, we're all... Palad's like, no, dude, you come over to our side. We'll, you know, value human life. No, I'm good. Okay, end the game or whatever. Just kill him.
I don't know. I will agree to disagree here.
All right.
I like that scene, and also... I mean, I liked it enough to make it the thumbnail, so there's a lot.
Okay, I see the bias here. All right, here we go.
Well, no, I mean, it's just that I like Nico's character, and I'm all for her being able to fulfill this part of what she wanted to do. You know, She was the one that wanted to rise up through Kamen Rider Chronicle.
She wanted to win, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't always feel as earned, but it is this thing where, like, one, the Kamen Rider Chronicle Geshat, it's not as powerful as, a regular driver. So that's one thing. The other thing is, like, they're a combination, her and Taiga. And, I don't know, it to me it fit.
Well, it's just the way we had our last Bugster being brutally killed and all that imagery of drowning and stuff. It just was like, so these guys are more human than you think, and then...
Well, I mean,
in our next kill, we had a problem with Emu doing it like that. I guess the way, because she
No. See, Emu decided to become a different character. And then do that. That's what I was upset about. But for N, that was all her. She stayed consistent throughout the show. I don't know. I'm fine with it. And, like, think of it this way. The motivations of those two and the sudden motivation of Graphite
the Graphite
was to have,
thing.
like, a satisfying ending, and that was that. So that's fine. And then for Palad... I blinked my eye at him being like, "Oh, he got what he wanted.
Yeah,
a cool death." I blinked my eye at that. But his motivation is that he wants to be the protagonist. He wants to be the one. He wants to be the main character. He wants to be human. He wants to be on the other side. He wants to,
I felt like he could have at least grieved.
He wants to be Wreck-It Ralph. He
is
Wreck-It Ralph.
He could have grieved a little bit for his dead buddy, but I guess because his dead buddy wanted to be dead, I don't know. The last minute, it's just like, okay.
Maybe maybe he had already come to terms with him dying, considering he took the virus. The Game Deus
doubt it, but
sample virus. I don't know.
Okay, let's just get to the end of this episode where we finally get to see the final boss.
Honestly, I feel like there's one thing that I wanted to touch on. So you talk about that while I try to suss out what it was.
Okay. So pretty much, she shoots Graphite and gets the final mini Geshat thing, and everybody puts them all together, and here we go.
Oh, frick. Oh, yeah, no. You're talking about important stuff. I want to talk about some annoying stuff real quick.
Okay.
Hey, we gotta market our Kamen Rider X-Aid True Ending movie. How are we gonna do that, Toei? Let's decide to shoehorn in this new character, right? And he's gonna be the main villain of the movie. We're just gonna put him in there, show that he has motivation, and watch him walk out. And then say, but if you don't something plot, then you won't get to see Kamen Rider Chronicles true ending.
Oh
and then
my god.
You're all just sitting there like, oh, so we gotta watch a movie or something? Are we not getting the full...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of a concern there. It's concerning that...
It's like toward the end of the production, they were like, oh, frick. We were supposed to make a movie to promote some of the toys, weren't we? That's part of the contract. Oh, what do we do? Oh, you know what games have? They have like bad ends, good end, but here's true end. That's one of the ones, right?
So now is it gonna have two endings, and the true ending is the one you gotta see in theaters?
I feel like the name True Ending, for me, I think how the movie's gonna work is like, X8's done. The show's done. You don't need to see this movie, but like another problem crops up. Ooh, it's this guy. He's redoing Kamen Rider Chronicle, but VR, because, Kamen Rider X8 is doing a big VR push with Sony and doing a bunch of cross promotion. So we need to have him have a VR form, movie exclusive. and it's gonna be his most powerful movie form. And is gonna kill the bad guys, and he's gonna win. And the other bad guys are in VR.
Wonderful.
It's it's, I mean, basic formula. It's going to conclude, and it'll be like, not necessarily years later, but definitely after, we get to see somewhat of an epilogue of the characters. And then they'll be like, oh shoot, danger again, but this time it's in VR. We all gotta suit up and fight it. Oh, these guys can't take it on. Guess we gotta enlist Tensai Gamer Ann.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, so talk about plot stuff.
I mean, the rest of it is just that the main villain...
Oh, Game Deus.
Baddie shows up with his very underwhelming design.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, at least it's not poop. And we've had literal poop in this show as villains before.
That's true. The
Yeah.
The DNA CG garbage.
The poop?
Yeah.
That orange poop?
Remember when it was in the shape of a gun once? Oh my gosh.
That's the worst.
Oh, I'm so glad
That's the worst.
I would not. I will never rewatch this show.
Yeah, I will not miss this.
I will never rewatch this show. I can't wait for the new one.
Yeah.
Which?
Oh, hey.
Mm.
Shameless plug for our breakdown of the Kamen Rider build trailer that just came out. But hey, that's neither here nor there. But I think that just about wraps it up. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, that just about wraps it up. So, thanks for listening this far, if you've made it this far. Also, if you like this episode, hit that like button. If you want to hear more from us each week, hit that subscribe button. Definitely go into the links in the descriptions down below, because we got our socials. Got our social medias. We got a Discord chat. Hit up on that. Dingle our dongle. See ya.
Later.